Hey, what up, guys? Your boy Am, you already know. Right now, I got my boy
Pcull.
Oh my god, he starts different every time, every single time. But it's lovely. I like it.
Keep you on
Anyway,
your toes, motherfucker.
yeah. Last time we were on the verge of discovering the truth. So let's continue and let's figure this shit out. Who did what? Let's see. By now, you guys could have probably figured it out. I don't know. Depends. You guys, I don't know. Clearly,
I have no idea.
they'd hope for something more forthcoming. He continued. By the way, Ace, would you mind if I asked you something? What is it? Do you know who I am? And the music. What the fuck, man? What kind of question? Just answer it, please. Who am I? You're Junpei. Of course. Who else would you be? Unfortunately, that's the wrong answer. Actually, I'm Santa.
What the fuck?
What? Ace's voice was full of surprise, but it was also tinged with confusion and fear. Everyone else looked nearly as surprised. I'm glad no one talks. Santa looked especially shocked to discover he was actually someone else. If he spoke, however, the trap would be exposed. Yeah, I'm so glad no one decided to say anything. And Junpei quickly continued, this is a brilliant plan. The clothes I'm wearing I borrowed from Junpei. And the clothes he's wearing are mine. We had a little swap. That's ridiculous! Impossible! So you're saying I'm not Santa? Of course you aren't! Why? What makes you so sure I'm not Santa? If you were Santa, then door 3 wouldn't have opened for us just now. 1 plus 7, okay. 1 plus 9 would be 10. The remainder of that would be 1. But the 4 of us just opened door 3. You can't possibly be Santa. Your bracelet isn't 3. It's 5, right? Only then only then when it was too late did Ace realize his mistake. He set his jaw and glared at Junpei. You're exactly right. My bracelet number is 5.
Clever girl.
As he spoke, Junpei lifted his wrist up to show everyone the bright red 5 on his wrist, like no one knew. Sorry, Ace.
Red 5?
I tricked you. Of course, I'm not really Santa. I'm Junpei. Who could possibly think I was? It's obvious I'm not. To think I was, ridiculous. But I guess you couldn't see just how obvious it was. I asked you before, didn't I? What makes you so sure I'm not Santa? And you answered, if you were Santa, then door 3 wouldn't have opened for us just now. Most people wouldn't say something like that. As their justification for why I'm not Santa, I mean. The first thing that would come to anyone else's mind wouldn't be the bracelet number. There'd be one thing they say, one sentence. You don't have his face. Ace, you have prosopagnosia, am I right? Junpei's voice was quiet and calm. He knew the truth. So did Ace. He could hear a sudden buzz of conversation from the others.
Dude, I need some fucking popcorn. This is great.
Prosopagnosia? What's that? He heard Lotus begin to explain it to them. Ace glanced at them, then turned back toward Junpei and sighed. Very well. I confess. I have prosopagnosia. I cannot differentiate human faces. Is this what this is about? You want to mock me for my disorder? No, not at all. I'm not making fun of you at all. In fact, I feel kind of bad for you. No, the reason I brought this up is that there's an excellent chance the person who killed Snake has prosopagnosia. Ace's face tightened, his eyes narrowed. What do you mean? Junpei leaned casually against the iron piping of one of the beds.
Oh,
I'll just come right out with it. I think it was you, Ace. You killed him.
Bitch is getting called out now.
And now a new song played. What the fuck? Junpei was suddenly very aware of 5 pairs of eyes on him. He had their undivided attention now. The room had grown very, very quiet. Junpei took a very deep breath. That's ridiculous. What possible evidence do you... I have 3 pieces of evidence. The first, think back a few hours ago. You made us argue over the 3 doors over here in the big hospital room. There was no way all 7 people could go through them. Lotus suggested that we sacrifice one of us. Lotus looked away awkwardly. Junpei glanced at her and continued. Then you, Ace, said, I'll stay here. Why would you say something like that? It's pretty simple, really. You didn't want us to see the dead body in the shower room. You see, if Ace stayed behind, there were only 2 doors the rest of us could go through. Door 7 and 8. There was no way we could get to door 3, the shower room. You knew that, didn't you, Ace? That's why you volunteered to stay behind.
Gosh.
Come on now, I think that's going a bit far. I can understand if you're jealous of my bravery, but please don't devalue my actions. I only wanted to save the rest of you. Surely you can understand my altruism.
Altruism, pompous bitch.
Junpei stared off into the darkness, and something very interesting lazily began to dig a persistent bit of wax out of his ear. What the fuck?
What? Junpei stared off into the darkness at something very interesting and lazily began to dig a persistent bit of wax out of his... What the hell?
You already knew, didn't you? Oh, this guy's so good. Hold up. You knew that whichever doors we took, eventually we'd end up back in the big hospital room. What on earth are you saying? Of course I didn't know that. How could I have? Really? Yes. Pleading was not something they'd heard from Ace before. Junpei pulled out the piece of wax from his ear, clasped it, then flicked it off into the darkness. Oh my god. Oh well, that's cool. I still got 2 more pieces of evidence that say you're the killer. The second is that, as I said earlier, you have prosopagnosia. Then you mean to imply that a person who can't distinguish human faces must be a bad person? Junpei, they call that prejudice. No, I'm not that stupid. Then why? Well, before I explain, I suppose there's something I should tell you. The course in the shower room, it's not snakes. What? What? Ace's face went pale. The others looked confused as well. The body wasn't snakes. I didn't put it together right away, but there was something Clover told me. She said that Snake's left arm was prosthetic. He'd lost his real arm in an accident. But the body we saw in the shower room, let's call him Guy X. Guy X's left arm was definitely flesh and blood. In other words, Guy X couldn't possibly have been Snake. Oh god.
I'm just gonna start eating.
Do it. Oh god, no, that's impossible. Ace had started muttering deliriously to himself, shaking his head back and forth. Junpei was long past caring. Let's say, hypothetically, that the killer didn't have prosopagnosia. If that were the case, he would immediately realize that Guy X wasn't Snake. Even if the clothes were the same as Snake's, their faces would be completely different. It would have been obvious that they were different people, and yet they still killed him. Why? Why would they kill a stranger who'd only just shown up? On the other hand, if the killer did have prosopagnosia, it makes sense. They thought Guy X was Snake and killed him. Wait just a moment. Let's say you're right and I mistook Guy X for Snake. Even if I did, I would have no motive for killing him. Why would I want to kill Snake? I can think of at least...
Snake!
I can think of at least 2 motives. 1. Snake knew about your past. If he ever revealed what he knew, it would have been really bad for you. You really didn't want that to happen. So to make sure Snake's mouth stayed shut, you killed him. 2. Snake had a grudge against you. You knew that, or at least you could have easily assumed he did. Even without exposing your identity, he was a threat to you. You never knew when you might be attacked. You couldn't ever let your guard down. Every moment was a moment he might try something. You didn't want that kind of danger hanging over you, so you... Hey! Oh no, wait, that's you.
Hey, hold on 1 minute.
For the first time since the beginning of Junpei's explanation, someone besides Ace spoke.
What's the past that in Snake? Whoa. Words.
I know, right? I say Snake over Ace too, so I don't know why.
What's the past? That's so weird. What's the past? Okay, I got it.
I know, right?
What's the past that Ace wouldn't want us to know? Why would Snake have a grudge against him?
Look at this. He handed Santa a small piece of paper. Santa squinted at the paper and began to read.
The non-running game was played once before, 9 years ago. The person with the number 2 bracelet attended the game 9 years ago. It was planned by the following 4 people. From Pcull, blah blah blah. Do I really have to read this?
Okay.
What? No. Is this...
Slowly, Santa looked up from the paper. His eyes met Junpei's. It's the message from Zero. It was in the safe in the first class cabin. Then suddenly... Give me a break! Oh man, you hear him slam on something. His face was red and shaking, and his voice was full of fury tinged with desperation. That paper is a lie! Someone is trying to frame me! Me? You just said me, right? Junpei's eyes narrowed and the trap began to close. Ace inhaled sharply. His eyes flickered off of Junpei to something, anything else. Wouldn't that mean that you're admitting you're Hongo, the CEO of Creative Pharmaceutical? Or am I mistaken? It was as though a switch had been flipped. The color drained from Ace's face, and he realized what he'd done. His eyes went wide. Very well, I admit that much. I am certainly the CEO of Creative Pharmaceutical. Yeah. So what if I am? So what if I am? I don't know anything about this notary game that supposedly took place 9 years ago. Everything on this scrap of paper is bullshit. Someone is trying to set me up, you see? First of all, Ace stammered as he tried desperately to work himself into a more tenable position. Junpei, you're claiming I did all this by myself. Think that over, alright? How could I have killed Snake all by myself? Not Snake, it was Guy X. I don't care who it was. You said the killer put this other man to door 3, right? Yeah, maybe. Then I couldn't have possibly done that alone. I couldn't have opened door 3 with only myself and Guy X. Nope, you could have. Huh? Everyone's all like, what the fuck?
Oh, I know. I'm a clever monkey.
And Ace is like, what? What? Ace's face was tight and his teeth were clenched. Junpei fixed him with a level stare. The trap was about to close. Actually, Ace, when you were unconscious, I took something from you. Remember when you were injected with that anesthetic and fell asleep in the big hospital room? You mean the room we're just in? Yeah, back then. I took this. Junpei put his hand to his pocket. Oh, bingo. No, you couldn't have. Ace's right hand moved. Junpei smiled. I got you, Ace. Your right hand there tells me all I needed to know. You want to tell me what you were so worried about? What's in your pocket? It's number 9 bracelet, isn't it? Ace, Guy X, and a knife man's bracelet. That was all you needed to open door 3. Yep. That's how you killed Guy X, all by yourself, Ace. All you needed was the number 9 bracelet in your chest pocket. Ace lowered his hand from where it had stopped, halfway into his pocket. He looked down at the floor, his face hidden from Junpei. All he could see was the corner of Ace's mouth, twitching like a dying fish.
Fish fillet!
Fish fillet! If you want to play innocent, that's fine by me. Go ahead, tell me I don't have the bracelet, that's what you want to do. But if you could take off your coat and hand it to me, I'd really appreciate it. Otherwise, we'll have to take it from you by force. Oh shit. Right, 7?
Yeah! Force! With power! Would be my pleasure.
7 cracked his knuckles with a sound like gunfire. Oh shit.
Oh snap.
Ace roared with laughter. He threw his arms wide and his head back and laughed, filling the room with a sound that scarcely belonged there. Then it stopped. His arms came down and his head dropped to look straight ahead at Junpei. Holy shit!
What the fuck?
His face was flat and cold, devoid of any emotion. Well done, Junpei. As you so correctly deduced, I have the number 9 bracelet. I retrieved it while we were searching for the missing hardware for the RED. I left the room I was supposed to search and headed to the first-class cabin on B deck. His voice showed no emotion, no sense of remorse or interest. It was almost bored, as though he were reciting an especially dull corporate letter. My purpose was to obtain the number 9 bracelet. 9 is a potent ally in the notary game. Adding 9 to any set of numbers won't alter the digital root. Yes, as you can see by the example there.
Interesting.
As you can see, 9 is a very useful number here. With it, one can go anywhere, with anyone. So I made the first-class cabin to obtain it. Oh, I made 4. Ace successfully acquired the number 9 bracelet. He also found an unexpected bonus, the knife man had been holding. Think about that. He slid both of them into his chest pocket and left, as quickly as he could. He walked down the stairs and headed back to where he was supposed to be. That was when he met Guy X and mistook him for Snake. Snake was on his way to the large hospital room, or supposedly Snake, and had not noticed Ace from behind him. Ace made sure it stayed that way.